Hi, and welcome to At the Movies with Adam Ross. On today's episode, I'll be reviewing The World's End, the last film in the Cornetto trilogy, a series of films by director Edgar Wright. Now, The World's End follows Gary King, a perpetual screw-up who hasn't grown, who is always living in the past, living in nostalgia, and he decides that he'll revisit four of his best friends and he's going to drag them, kicking and screaming, onto a pub crawl that they didn't complete over 20 years earlier. Now, Gary King is a pretty amusing character, and we all know a guy like him, the guy that, always has to have the last beer and is always partying and up to no good, selling drugs, buying drugs and whatnot. So the big thing about this film is that it is a British comedy for the first half of the film. Like all of Edgar Wright's films, it takes a wild detour after that and it goes into a genre piece. And all of his films have been really successful. I think that Shaun of the Dead, made a really big splash when it came out and it was really funny, but it was a good zombie movie in its own right. And same again with Hot Fuzz, a really funny comedy that turned into kind of an occult thriller, but ended up being a great buddy cop movie between Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. And a big reason a lot of these films work is because the chemistry between the characters. And that chemistry is there again with this. And Edgar Wright has cast a who's who of British actors: Eddie Marsan, Paddy Considine, Bill Nighy, even Pierce Brosnan. This movie is populated with great actors. And the really disarming thing is that he's got a lot of actors that have been in really serious dramas, but instead he's realised that they've got great comedic timing. And so he utilises every actor that he has in this film and gives every character some really poignant and funny moments. It's got that real wild, energetic style that Edgar Wright's known for. A lot of flash edits, and he really throws things into your face. You've got to suspend your disbelief with a movie like this because this is pure cinema. Like when the shit goes down in this movie, and when it does, it's quite amusing. That these characters, they know wire fu. They're quite dangerous, even though that they're meant to be real estate agents and corporate lawyers. But I think that, one of the great successes of Edgar Wright's films is that not only are his films really, homages to the films of the 80s, but he makes good genre pieces in his own right. And this is another film that can be added to the great canon of invasion flicks. And it's got some really good sci-fi notions in there. And if you're a fan of the films of like James Cameron, then you'll really like some of the, twists and turns of this film. Simon Pegg hasn't been this good in it, I think, since Hot Fuzz. His shtick has got a little bit old in some of his other movies, but he's really going for it in this. For some reason, when he operates in an Edgar Wright film, he goes a little bit over the top. Nick Frost is great like usual. Martin Freeman is really good. So look, I think if you like the previous films in this trilogy, definitely go and check this one out. It might be a little bit less successful than the other two in the trilogy, but it still has got, it's got a huge quota of laughs and it's got some really cool sci-fi action in it. So go and check this one out. I give this one 4 stars.